prepared tortilla chips and yummy guacamole from Guac-Ole, a lucrative family business in Sweet Ridge, Texas. "Does it say where it came from?" she asked, sitting forward and clicking open her email. Multitasking was her superpower. She responded to the sole message in her inbox, hovered her cursor over the trash can icon, and gave it a triumphant click. Yes! Nothing gave her more pleasure than an empty inbox. A ding interrupted her short-lived celebration. Darn. She clicked open the email from one of the creative directors and began to respond. Lloyd inspected the package. "It says it's from Honey Springs, California." Cassie's fingers stiffened, and she stopped typing mid-sentence. "Where did you say?" "Honey Springs, California," Lloyd confirmed and handed over the box. "Says it's from the mayor's office." "Thank you." An enormous wave of guilt washed over her. The return label indeed read, Mayor's Office. It had been more than a decade since she last saw the mayor of the charming Northern California town. A reunion that now could never happen. A knot formed in her stomach. Her aunt, Etta St. James, had assumed the mayor role 8 years ago. She'd even invited Cassie to her inauguration, but Cassie had just started at Burke and Taylor. She couldn't get the time off. Truth be told, she hadn't tried hard to be there. The knot tightened and she swept a hand across her stomach. Last month, she'd been pulled out of a focus group to take a phone call from Aunt Etta's office. A staff member, in between uncontrollable sobs, had informed Cassie that her aunt had a sudden heart attack and passed away. Cassie had wanted to attend the funeral, but she'd been neck-deep in the Skin Essentials pitch. There was no way she could leave to fly clear across country. She'd sent a dozen bright pink roses to the funeral home. They were Aunt Etta's favorite. She had said they symbolized gratitude and appreciation. Cassie pulled her blonde hair to the side. She'd thought it was an appropriate remembrance. "Would you like me to open it?" "No." She dismissed his offer with a wave. "My aunt was the mayor of the town." "Cool." "She died last month, right before Christmas." "Oh," he mouthed. "I'm sorry to hear that. I'll just be at my desk if you need me." Cassie leaned back in her chair, sliding a hand over the box. Over the years, she hadn't given Honey Springs much thought. But once upon a time, the small West Coast town had been her home. One brief, tumultuous time. Reaching for her scissors, she took a blade to the taped-up flaps. "Hey, Lloyd, can you come back in here for a second?" She called into the hall. For reasons she couldn't fully understand, she didn't want to be alone when she opened the box. She separated the soft yellow tissue paper and pulled out a glass jar. Inspecting its thick, light brown contents, she couldn't help but laugh. Lloyd stepped toward Cassie's desk and took a bite of a half-eaten apple, no doubt part of the lunch he was trying to eat at his desk. "Was your aunt into honey?" It was her livelihood. Memories of that beautiful farm with its big red barn and the rolling green hills behind it swarmed her head as she inspected the jar, touching the bright yellow ribbon featuring little honeybees that was tied around it. She owned a honeybee farm. "For real? Those exist?" "They sure do. The honeybee is incredibly important to our ecosystem. You wouldn't be able to enjoy that apple, for instance, without the bee pollination that occurred in the orchard it came from." She smiled up at her New York-bred assistant who, from what she knew, had rarely been west of Broadway. Who knew? Lloyd took one last bite and tossed the core in the wastepaper basket next to her desk. "Thank you, honeybee. It was delicious." "You should see my aunt's farm. It's way on top the most beautiful hill. On a clear day, you can see the outline of the Pacific coast." "Sounds majestic." It was. I mean, it is. I had my first kiss up on that hill. She paused,